Guys, welcome. What is going on? How are you doing? Are you enjoying the sound design hangouts? Are you enjoying hanging out? Tonight is gonna be absolutely incredible, honestly. I think this actually might be one of the secret SDHOs. And if it's not a secret SDHO, then, what do you expect? What even is that? I'm considering not titling this SDHO. I've only not titled one, I think, one other time. I've come into a lot of discoveries with Ableton, like just really cool things. Some of them aren't really discoveries as much as they are things that sort of like came to my awareness. And oh boy, I gotta switch over to GarageBand. I open up a new set and it's like the highs are too high that it's like killing my ears. Okie dokie. So a lot of different random cool things I found. Some are just like new cool things, and then other things are like challenges I had. And I was like, oh, life would be easier if I could find a way to just alter the timing of beats so they're not on the grid without me moving little beats. And oh, okay, now I look at grooves and Ableton's groove pool and what you can do with grooves in a different way, in a creative way, because maybe the reason why you like me as your Ableton teacher is because I'm not telling you how to make your stuff. I'm like explaining under the hoods, sound design stuff, results from my explorations, and yeah, it really focuses on sound design. That's why it's called Sound Design Hangout, the darkest of the Ableton arts, sound design. Could be like the lightest of the arts, because it's like so high vibe. It's like you're like this magician, scientist, wizard who is building these complex sounds from simple all the way to complex. He's like, I would be creating life, but unfortunately in this dimension I can only play with sound and bring sound to life, but one day I will animate these creations of mine, you will see. Doesn't that like take you back to some weird time and place? Maybe that was in a movie or something, I don't know. Why are movies so bad these days? I don't even watch movies anymore. Alright, so let's get jumping. Literally like 8 or 9 things, and I'm just gonna, whatever pops into my head, I'm gonna go with, and then I will just try to see if these things will find me at the right place and we can tie it all together. So the first place we're gonna start is a place dear to my heart. Insert a MIDI track. No, not the MIDI track. Silly, but white noise. And that there's a secret white noise. Although it doesn't sound too white noise, but like, it's like, there's like secret white noise. And most people I would bet to gather don't know this exists, and it's an operator. So drag an operator, record enable. So, all right, we're in oscillator A, and I might as well just drag a spectrum and make it default, because, we're always using spectrum here. And so here we go. Do we want a sine wave? No. Do we want white noise? Lower dim hertz? No. Did you ever ask yourself what this was? Noise looped? Let's hear the difference. Keep in mind this frequency is here. It sounds the same. Oh no, you guys are never going to let me live this down. And unlike the white noise, you can play multiple keys and you can hear, like, it's pitched. Might not sound very good, But yeah, I mean, it's basically noise. I mean, look at it. That doesn't look like any of the things that we normally do, you know? Oh yeah, the chorus is all the way up. Yeah, it's so like it's basically like it's almost like a crossover. It's almost like a crossover of like noise and like oscillator, you know? So it's kind of weird, but like when you play with it, you'll eventually get something that kind of does sound tonal, but like, do you want tonal if you're trying to do like a white noise thing? So basically I would like do my like ambient stuff with white noise, but I would do it with one of these abrasive ones. I think this is really cool because like, you don't just, you know what I mean? Like what kind of like instrument is this? You know what I mean? Like look at that one. Like it's very pitched. But if I play another note up, if I play one semitone up, it goes from this. So that's interesting, I guess. What does that sound like if I transpose it down an octave? Again. Interesting, unique, very nice. It'll probably not sound that if I change the fine tune. And if I change the chorus, it probably won't sound pitched anymore either. That's interesting. It's kind of weird. And then, yeah, we can do the regular stuff that we normally do. I'm not so... maybe I'll spend more time with it. Let's take the frequency down. But now it just kind of sounds like white noise. So, yeah, I mean, like, that's cool. Like, just now that you're aware of that, that's just kind of cool. I'm not feeling that inspired by that. I kind of thought it would give me like a weird white noise, but I started playing with white noise in, oh, that's the second one. That's the second one. Go back to operator. Let's get the regular white noise back. I remember I said I wanted like custom white noise. Well, I found out that, I was about to say our good friend vocoder, but I'm like, wait, we never use vocoder. Vocoder's like, you are lying. You say we're together. You say we do things. But you never take me out to dinner. I'm like, vocoder, why am I taking vocoder out to dinner? I don't understand. It's like, well, just give me more love. Isn't that what we all want? I'm like, wow, vocoder, you are, you're like, you've become sentient. Smash a like if you support that the vocoder becomes sentient. I'm just, whatever, we're having fun. So, yeah, vocoder, that's where we are now. I wanted vocoder, and by the way, again, we're on, you can close down that panel. Yeah, white noise, not noise looped, regular white noise. We've moved on. I just wanted to let you know that it did do that, you know, because you might have a creative use for it. Like, that's what's fun. I was like, man, I had this like bad feeling back in the day with Ableton. I was like, I have this very bad feeling that I'm like, unless I just lose interest, which luckily hasn't happened yet. I was like, I have a bad feeling that if I like lose, you know, like I have a bad feeling that I'm going to have to figure out every single possible sound that like synthesizers and Ableton can make. Otherwise I got to do it like it's like an itch or something. I don't know. Smash like if you get the itch. The itch to do Ableton ever. Let's minimize this. And I'm going to play around with vocoder, give you an idea. So here's why I even opened up vocoder, which I almost never use. And interestingly enough, they choose to group vocoder in the reverb and resonance folder, which I just found interesting. I kind of thought that all of these seemed like they would fit, but not vocoder. But I think maybe the logic is like, well, where else would vocoder logically go? By the way, if you want to know how I did this, or if you want to know how I did it out of it, you can click on any of these headers, right click, and then uncheck or check group and folder. So let's play with vocoder. So why did I even think to do anything with vocoder? Is because I like, you know me, I mean, you watched these SDHOs, you know, I like to make ambient evolving sound textures with white noise that, you know, coupled maybe with other sounds, put you in a state of relaxation. And I thought, well, I love this white noise. I loved running it through resonators, you know, like Corpus, but like white noise is white noise. You know what I mean? Like white noise sounds the same any pitch you play because it's everything. And you really just have like your filter, you know what I mean? Oh my God, are we getting water noises? And so I thought, and it just popped in my head. I'm like, what if vocoder could give us custom white noise sounds? So I can get all those like great bread and butter white noise sounds when I run them through different filters. But what if like vocoder could give me like more custom white noise sounds? And it turns out it does. Let's play with it, and I'm going to shut up. And I think you can actually get the most coveted white noise sound or most coveted nature sound that I really don't know how to get, but it's like water trickles. You know what I mean? Let's play with it. Sounds kind of like it. Oh my God, what's going on here? Okay, now I'm hitting notes and nothing's happening. What happened? Did I break vocoder? Vocoder's like, you've never break me. You will never break my spirit, for I am the vocoder. I have a feeling it's because this depth is all the way up. Let's see. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Give it some attack. It's really weird. It's like... Ooh, that's more my speed. By the way, if you move this around, it just changes the timbre. Sounds like you're putting a redux on it. Sounds like we're in like a volcano or something. Don't really even need this. Let's do the hybrid reverb. Hate when that happens. Wonderful. Turn the blend down so we just hear this side. Yeah, I don't want to be playing. I don't want to be playing with the hybrid reverb. I want to move along because this is fun. You could like. I wonder if we can map this to the LFO. I want to move on, but before I move on, I want to show you that there's this really cool sound you can get with vocoder. This BW, which I think stands for like black white. It gives a very unique sound that you really don't hear a whole lot. It almost kind of sounds like, it sounds very sci-fi, like some sort of like sci-fi corridor spaceship sound you might hear on that. And I'm going to make you wait a second. Because this alone, you can get a sound like this in Ableton with the grain delay, but just take a listen. Yeah. You can play with the bands. Look at that. What is that, like alien forest? Now it's raining in alien forest. If you're loving this, smash a like, subscribe. Let me know you love it. Like now it's completely different just because we put more bands here. Because apparently bands will make this dance. Yeah, that's pretty amazing, is it not? Let's play chord. See if can we get chord? I don't know. I am playing many notes. Wow, I love it. I gotta save that now. Let's play with this reverb a little bit. No, it's just one sound. I'm playing different notes. Either they're taking long to fade in, but like, you just kind of get this sound, you know? It's wonderful. I don't need Spectrum anymore. I don't know, I'll call this Temple Synth or something. And I'm gonna turn this off, and we're just gonna go to something completely different. Because that was cool. I liked that they like fed off each other. You know what I mean? That was one of the things. I wanted to show you both of those things. Because like those are, you know what I mean? I've just been like playing around with Ableton more than I normally have. Like, I'll be honest with you guys, like if it wasn't for this channel, and now that I've been making these for like almost a year now, like I started February of last year, 2022. That's not when I started making tutorials, and that's not when I started this channel. In fact, I think this channel's been on for a very long time. I wasn't always making things though. And yeah, I won't get into the history of the channel unless you want me to at some point. It's actually kind of interesting because it used to be a different kind of a channel. It was like a spiritual channel. I didn't make a lot of videos, but that was the impetus of me learning how to like make videos. Like I never knew how to do any digital art stuff, any making video stuff. Like that just didn't intersect with my life at all. It was Ableton and music first, then it was video, then it was the computer graphics thing. So remember how we did that? Remember I showed you, I was like, wow, like probably no one knows that those sounds very easily could come out of Operator. You know, like the first thing we did, like that crazy weird white noise, which to be honest, I'm sure I'll find more interesting creative uses for, but I'm not so interested in that. I found something interesting in analog, and it's incredible. And I'm sharing it with you, with us. I was thinking about Zelton back from episode 40. He wants to come through. No, I'm just joking. Or maybe not. Analog. We're doing sound design. I guess we probably need a Spectrum, don't we? Why not, right? Why not? All right. Just the view. So, I want to let you guys know, analog, for those of you who don't know, this center panel will update when you click these different tabs, which Ableton calls shells, at least for analog. When we're in this tab, the oscillator tab, and again, if you have oscillator 2 unchecked, we don't need that right now, so just uncheck it. Just have the top 3 enacted. You always have to have amp 1 enacted. If you want to use the filter, you'd have to have that enacted, and if you don't have oscillator 1, you won't hear any sound. So what are we going to play with? Well, we don't just want a sine wave, because we want harmonics, and we don't want our wonderful good old friend buddy boy noise oscillator. Ouch, sorry about that, guys. We want something with harmonics. We want a saw wave, or we want a square wave. Let's take it down an octave. Yes, square waves just sound better. Now, while we're in this square wave panel, as you guys know, we have pulse width modulation. Listen to it. Let's take down this frequency. Let's go back here. Let's play with the pulse width. Now, if we go to saw wave, oh my God, we can't use pulse width anymore. Why? Because pulse width is only a thing that gets done with square waves, which are actually more appropriately called pulse waves. We won't get into that because we've gotten into it so many other times, and I'm trying to conserve energy to see if I can get through all of these really cool discoveries. And they're not really like discoveries, they're more like epiphanies. Well, some were discoveries because what I'm about to show you right now is actually kind of quite a discovery. I've used analog for years, and I'm willing to bet that like there's many other people like me, maybe it's you, where you've been like, I've used Ableton my whole life, and I've even used analog a lot, but like I knew this existed, but I didn't know that it did this to the sound. So yeah, we've got saw wave right now. We don't get pulse width anymore because you don't get that feature. But what if we could do, and I think this is actually what it is, maybe not precisely, so don't hold it to me, but nevertheless, maybe you can infer from what I'm saying what this does. And again, experiment with all this stuff on your own. It's almost like if we could do pulse width modulation with a saw wave, this is what it would be. So you come here to sub sync, and normally if you put this up, you're gonna get a sub oscillator. Right. But you can go to sync. Did you know? And then of course, I mean, what is stopping you from doing our wonderful friend SDHO and mapping it? Wonderful. Now it's crazy because like you still get that ability to do it with the square wave. And the crazy thing is that whether you do the square wave or the saw wave and using this sync thing, it kind of sounds similar. So it's like, again, it's like whatever you want. I just think the square wave sounds better than a saw wave, even alone by itself. But the square wave gives you the opportunity to do the pulse width. We're going to take sync off, put it back to sub. I don't even think I even want sub. But I want to put the pulse width back at 50%. That's just regular, boring square wave. But now let's change it to what sounds better. Ugh, gross. Better. Oh, I like it here. Sounds better than 50. Just sounds a little bit beefier. Have fun with that. Notice how good it sounds, and all we're doing is just playing with analog. Let's get out of here. What next? I can't believe I'm going through them in a timely fashion. What was next? I got it. Let me set it up and then I'll talk. So just watch me. Not that I'm doing anything crazy, but just because I need to conserve energy here. You're listening to music right now, I'm not, and I'm like, dude, I need to hear music right now. Oh, it just said 555 up there. Smash a like if you know what the 555 means. What? .808 hat. Always zoom in. MIDI effects. Appreciatia. Bring it in. Too slow. 16ths. I don't really like playing with I don't know. I don't really... I like doing the sampler. If you want to make sure you're playing it back at its default pitch, make sure you're playing a C3. If we just click on one of these. So that's what it sounds like. Sounds kind of lame. Let's go to filter global. Let's put it on high pass. I always like to do the high pass filter on these because listen, what are you getting down here? You're not. So you're cutting these out so it's just like more clean for your mix. Let's put on a filter drive. Give it more. Alright, alright. What do we need? Some reverb. I don't know why I keep doing that voice. I have some reasons why I'm doing all these silly voices. I think I'm getting like excited, and because I'm getting excited and like at like an emphasis point in what I'm doing, you know, I get an extra burst of energy, and it's like I'm highlighting that fact through like a different voice. It's almost like allowing, whatever. Maybe you know what I was talking about, maybe not. In any event, I'm having fun. If you're having fun, God, I mean, who doesn't like reverb on dry sounds? Stop doing this. Okay. So that's like straight and boring, right? What if we could add some velocity to it? But what if we could add... No, excuse me, sorry guys, not velocity. What if we could add timing adjustments to it? Because, take a look at this. Hit the I/O. MIDI from hi-hat. Post effects. Monitor audio. Record enable. If you're not able to record, enable multiple at one time, just come up to the Ableton Live tab, go to Preferences, or do Command comma or Control comma. Come into the Record Warp Launch and see how solo is activated and ARM isn't. That means exclusive. That means you can only do one at a time. That's why my ARM is inactive. So if you want that, uncheck it. I don't know if it's checked or unchecked. So make sure it's unchecked. And as you're gonna see, we are going to get, they're all gonna be on grid, quantized. Take a look, I'll prove it to you. Okay. Okay. Let's zoom in. I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna say 16th notes. So let's zoom in, shall we? They're all completely on grid. In fact, I'm gonna redo this. I'm gonna see if it'll like max out the spaces so they occupy. Okay, cool. 16th notes. 16th notes. No, this is a 32nd grid division. 16th notes, could you stay there, please? They're all quantized, right? But like, we want to be able to have drum racks where we've got like hi-hats and perks with like appreciators on there, but like, you know what I mean? To make like that technique we did in that one video when I was doing the drums. But we don't want, can we like do that differently? Can we do that differently? Can we do it where we get some swing, where, you know, every other note is like, you know, slightly ahead to get like a tap, 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 you know what I mean? Can we do that? Are we allowed to do that? Well, of course. That was, I don't even know why I even said that. That was not good. How do you do that? Well, first of all, we're going to need to open up the groove pool. Not because we're using grooves right now, but because we want this global amount. Did you even know that was there? If you didn't know that was there, then I taught you something new, and that deserves a like. All right, so here's the thing. You go to groove here, let's go to groove 16ths. Listen. Sounds like a pony or a horse is going. But look what happens when I put this on 0. Let's push play. Or record. It's the same thing as before, but look at what happens. Wait, sorry. Look what happens when I start moving it up. So just slide it till it sounds good. You do that through this global amount. Is it still recording? Wonderful, wonderful. If I push the stop bar, I like stop recording. It's not good. So if you just like zoom into here, I thought I told you to stay in 16ths. See how this, so like look at this, okay, right? So you got like bar 5. Here, so we're just gonna look at like this bar, okay? Okay. 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 So here's a bar from, this is bar 5. Now if we take a look at good old bar 5, you will notice that this one, and this is just how a swing is, you'll notice that every other is slightly off by the same amount. So that I just want to illustrate to you that that is what's happening. So what's cool is you can get a good swing amount, and it'll allow you to like throw this hi-hat in a drum rack. So when you're like programming beats, you know what I mean? And you like, you know, have a note and you want the arpeggiator to play this long, and it plays like, you know, 16th notes because it's on an arpeggiator, so it plays 4 16th notes like this, rather than them going like, it'll be like, you know what I mean? So you get that like swing to it. So that was something that, I mean, I always kind of knew about it, but like I didn't really have a reason to do it. And I'll be honest, one day I was like, yo, where's that global amount parameter? I thought it was like up here. I thought it was like up here because maybe I think it actually was in like Ableton Live 9 or something. And like, I haven't messed around with grooves a whole lot because, oh, God, oh, geez, here we go. Oh, no, not another story time. Because I like to do less talking, because the more talking, the more energy I drain, and I want to keep creating things for the next couple of hours. You know what? You know what's up. So I've been getting excited about grooves, and I think this might be where we end it, unless I can think of some of the other cool things that maybe I didn't share. Maybe I shared them all. If not, you know, I'll make another video tomorrow. But and we'll just let's just get rid of this to consolidate. Put this back at 100. That's its default. Kind of interesting. No, you can actually turn up all the way to 130, so you can, you know, what was I gonna do? I don't know. Maybe I'll just leave it at that. No, there's something we're supposed to cover. I don't know what it is. Yeah, no, let's. I don't know. Should I leave it? Should I cut the podcast? What else did I figure out? I think I figured out some other really cool things. I can't remember. Let's just peruse this. Can we take our time? I think that'll allow me to remember. I'm only going to do one other thing because my mind's starting to wander. The other thing I was going to do is I was going to show you now more. Yep, no, I know it. This is probably where we're going to leave it. I think this is the final thing. It's browsing the grooves, finding a groove, and getting our own good 777, right? I mean, I'm not looking for that. I'm seeing it. That's because we are existing in a magical frequency. We are raising the consciousness of the planet. It's been happening for years. There is no doubt that you're watching these videos. We perhaps are fellow star seeds. Oh, I won't get any deeper than that. Smash a like if you are enjoying learning new things, whatever those things may be, including this podcast. Sound design hangout, hanging out, designing sounds. Who does that? Who else do you hang out and design sounds with? Smash that like. We love it. Where are the grooves? Two places. The grooves. I'm actually pretty sure that's damn well all of them. But packs, core library, the grooves. I'm pretty sure they're just all listed here. Let's go back to user library. No. Packs, core library, the grooves. Let's go to percussion. That's what I want. I don't think you're going to be able to hear these, but I want a 16th note pattern. You guys are going to love this. First of all, check it out. You can see it. It's got velocity information, C. And it should, see how this one's slightly off? It's got this information. Let's bring it to life. But before we bring it to life, we have to drag it to the groove pool. Why am I talking this way? I don't know. Is that like German or something? The groove pool. Ableton was created in Germany. Did you not know that? If you're from Germany, big ups yourself. I'm actually a tiny bit German. I'm 1/8 German. Hey, get me an 1/8 of that German. You mean German super funk? I just want a bag of... Just give it to me. I'm an 1/8. What's the other 1/8s? Who knows? It is a mystery. Uh-oh, what happened? Did I do that on accident? Of course I probably did. Now here's what's interesting. See how there's velocity information in this? We won't get any of that if this velocity here in the groove is set to 0. 100%? That one was at 70. Interesting. Timing means the timing of this groove will affect to our clip 100%. So what you want to do is, well, we don't really need this clip, but we will insert another MIDI track. Here's why I've gotten into grooves a lot lately. Probably just because it's just the time. It's the time of the year when I need to get into the grooves. Here we go. Let's get a drum rack. I want to show you what I mean. Let's go to drums. Let's click 808. Let's do the boom kit. 808 to boom kit. 808 to boom kit. Stop bringing your bullshit. The 808 kick never brings the bullshit. So let's open it up, shall we? Alright. Now look at this. 16th note grid. This is one bar. I'm gonna go get the kick on the 1, kick on the 2, kick on the 3, kick on the 4. Oh, it's just kicks. Okay, cool. Yeah, all right. Let's pretend this was a snare. Snare on the 2, snare on the 4. Oh, let's pretend this was a hi-hat. Let's 16th note hi-hats. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. Here's what's up. Again, pretend that these are snares or claps. We don't want our beats to be on the grid. We don't want our beats to be fully quantized because we are cool, we are swung, we are hip, we are off the grid, we are unique, we have internal rhythm, we have internal soul. We're not going to be quantized. So how do you unquantize? How do you make it like loose? Like if you have a good drum, well, you take those snares and you do something like this. I move those by holding command and hitting the right arrow, so it gives it a loose, laid-back feel. You could do that, yes you could. You might take every other hi-hat. Okay. And you might give that swing effect by like dragging them slightly, although that knocks out the other ones. So then you have to go back and then put these stupid things. See how tedious and how boring is this, right? You know, you would probably go in there and like make changes. Like, okay, well, like, you know, like this bar over here, you know, we got this kick, and you know, this kick is like the second kick, so we want to make sure this one's got a lower velocity, and because it's on a weaker note, you know, we want to go you know what I mean? So then we got that full because the guy would normally play it late. That's boring. You know what I'm saying? That is so boring, and that is so not musical. And I love drums. Oh my God. There is a time when my first 5 or 6 years of doing Ableton, drums was the only thing that mattered. They had to be loud. They had to be funky. I wanted my signature to be like I've got rhythms with these drums that y'all never heard before. You know what I mean? And then life happened, and then I just stopped listening. I just only listened to ambient music because I was like, I have to only be in a state of meditation because all else is just craziness and I just can't take it anymore. Yo, if you can't take it anymore, smash a like. All right, so anyways, going off of this, I told myself and I said, I can't in good faith have drums and have them be right on the grid. You know what I mean? I was like, so I need a way that I can make it work for me, which is to move them slightly off the grid. And that's what we get with these. The reason, and I always knew that, the reason why I had no interest in doing so was because I felt that these grooves, I felt like the only way that I could be me rhythmically in the Ableton family, that didn't make sense with the Ableton. No, we are all part of the Ableton family. Smash a like if you're part of the Ableton family. Ableton, people are watching at Ableton, like watching me. They're like, we should create an Ableton family. And then Heinz Strickler is like, no, that would be a cult. We cannot do that. You know, and they're like, oh, that's right. But Ableton family sounds really good. Smash like if you're part of the Ableton family. All right, let's keep moving. Let's keep moving and booming. Wonderful. So, yeah, let's drag a synth on here, shall we? And let's experience this rhythm and do some cool stuff with it. I don't know. I'll just drag an operator. Seems like it's good. Click play. What's playing? Oscillator A. Do we have velocity? Let's put a velocity to 0. Let's move it up. Hear it pulse. You like to pulse? Delete. Wavetable. Same thing. A little bit louder because there's just more volume. Bring up the oscillator 1 position. I was talking and I was... Sorry, guys. The LFO1, the Matrix. Do not get caught in the Matrix. It is, people say the Matrix is not a movie, it is actually a documentary. Smash a like if you've ever heard about such things. I've heard about them for the last 20 years. You've heard about them for the last 2 months, maybe the last 20 months. It's been over 20 years. Finally, people are waking up to the things I've been talking about for like the last 15 years. It's been a long, cold, lonely road, I'll tell you guys, but I won't get into any more of it. Maybe that's what we'll do on the Patreon. Turn the timing to 0, watch it change. Turn the velocity to 0, watch it change. Insert the MIDI track. Let's get it. Look at all that velocity. And look how these are slightly off. those different colors? No way. So yeah, let's like zoom in a little bit, shall we? See how they're like certain ones are off, you know? It's off. It's pretty cool, pretty unique. So like that could be like the basis for a track, you know, because you want a rhythm that's like you want like, and it's like that's velocity, that's timing, but like to go in there by hand and like look at this velocity pattern, like you would need to know that. So that's where we're gonna cap it. I hope you enjoyed it. To be honest with you, unless it comes to me in the last like third minute, I'm gonna wind down here and I gotta listen to music. Like literally, you've been listening to music, but I haven't been. I add that when I make the videos. That was it. Hope you enjoyed it. I think that's like all the things I wanted to share. I was like really doing a lot with like let's see. Was there one thing I wanted to tell you? No, not really. So yeah, those are the things. And that's it.